For our Monday special Midcap Mania. And Nigel, what's the stock on your radar today?
Well, the stock that we're going to be talking about is Orbit Exports, and the stock has had a big run. That's because the company has come out with a corporate action. That's a bonus issue. So that's the reason the stock caught my eye. But the other big debate nowadays is whether or not demonetization is having effect on business or not. So then, in fact, I came up with this company because it exports most of what it makes. Exports contribute close to around 75% of its total revenue. So then it takes care of that demonetization, at least to some extent. If you take a look at the geographic breakup as well, they're quite diverse. They're exporting to close to around 35 countries approximately, and they export to all the regions that I mentioned up for you on the screen as well. So it's quite diverse in terms of their exports. And if you take a look at the revenue breakup, they're into fabrics. That currently contributes a big portion of their business. That's close to around 85%, while in fact you have around 50% that's into Christmas made-ups. What are Christmas made-ups? They're those, in the West it's quite famous, stockings, ribbons, you have some of those runners, the Christmas tree. These are items where you have a rather large market in the United States of America. So that's a very small portion of their business currently. What is the fabric business? So their clients are the likes of H&M, the likes of Zara, etc. They as well are up for you on the screen. I had a word with the management, and they say there's no one big client that takes more than 10-12% of their total business, so they're diverse in that sense as well. Now, what are the key triggers then? Why I'm explaining this? Because the Christmas business currently is only around 15%. They're looking to increase it to around 25%. If that happens, it's good for their margins. Secondly, Brazil has been a big drag on their operations. So Brazil, if it turns around, currency stabilizes there, as well as if we see stability in West Asia, because oil prices have been moving higher, then those are the two big triggers going ahead. But as things stand, if you just take a look at it, the debt has been coming down. So that's one positive. It has come down to around 10 crores from around 40-50 crores approximately. So that's one positive, but financials, not great at all. Top line, there's been a degrowth at the halfway mark. Margins have been maintained at around that 33% approximately. And if you take a look at what they've been doing in the last few years, there's no big growth. In fact, in the last couple of years, there's absolutely no growth, around 150 crores approximately. Profitability as well, that has grown because margins have moved from around 16-17% to around 27%. So that's what I was talking about in terms of their exposure to the Christmas made-ups, etc. Moving on, then, if you take a look at the valuation picture, then it's trading at around 20 times. It's trailing earnings. So it's not cheap currently at around 20 times. But the ROC at more than 25%, that is a bit of a positive as well. Now, moving on, there are a whole host of challenges. I went through the audit report. There's competition coming from other countries. They constantly have to adjust themselves because they're catering to various tastes of various parts of the world as well. So that's another challenge. And also, we do have a stiff competition that's coming in there. Besides, from the domestic market, we have entry of multinationals as well. Promoter holding, that's increased from 51 to around 61%. But remember, that's because there has been conversion of warrants. Close to around 10 lakh warrants were issued. So that's been converted as well. Big funds, Birla holds close to around 1% in the company. But I was going through the audit report, and this upcoming investor, that's Mr. Varun Daga, he's one of the directors. And I went closer into the audit report, and in fact, it indicates that a whole host of people with the surname Daga, they hold stake in this company, and some of them have confirmed are related to the director. That's Mr. Varun Daga. Finally, they're making steps in the right direction. One is they've got a more noted auditor, and secondly, they've implemented ERP. So watch out for this company. It's trading at 20 times, so it's not cheap. First half of the year, it hasn't been great as well. Back to you.
All right, Nigel, thanks a lot for pointing that out to us. And just to reiterate, these are not buy calls from the CNBC TV 18 team. It's only some proprietary research on interesting stocks and companies.